Castor oil alone is only working at a fraction of its true potential, and most people who swear by it have never been told the full story behind why it often disappoints after a few months of solo use. My name is DoctorLeana, and after years of researching how plant-based compounds interact with aging skin at the cellular level, I've come to understand something that most skincare brands quietly ignore because it doesn't sell more single-ingredient products. Castor oil is not a complete solution on its own. It is a delivery mechanism, and without the right partner oils to carry into the deeper layers of your skin, most of its potential simply never activates. What I'm going to walk you through today are the 5 oil combinations that actually work together with castor oil to produce what researchers describe as a regenerative skin response, meaning real collagen stimulation, real barrier repair, and measurable reductions in wrinkle depth, not just temporary surface softness. Let's start with number 5, which is borage seed oil. And if you are a woman over 60, this one may be the most relevant thing you hear all week. After menopause, estrogen levels fall dramatically, and since estrogen is one of the primary signals that tells your skin cells to keep making collagen and retain moisture, its absence accelerates visible aging faster than most women expect. Borage seed oil contains the highest concentration of gamma-linolenic acid, or GLA, found in any plant oil, sitting at roughly 24% GLA content, which is higher even than evening primrose. GLA acts on the skin as a gentle plant-based signal to fibroblasts, the specialized cells deep in your dermis that manufacture collagen and elastin. In a randomized controlled trial involving post-menopausal women over 12 weeks, topical GLA application resulted in a 31% increase in skin hydration and a statistically significant improvement in skin firmness scores compared to the control group. Here is why borage seed oil must be combined with castor oil rather than used alone. The active GLA molecules in borage are relatively large and do not penetrate well through the outermost layer of skin without assistance. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, a unique fatty acid that acts as a biological penetration enhancer, essentially escorting larger active molecules past the skin's surface barrier and into the dermis, where they can do useful work. Mix 1 part castor oil with 2 parts borage seed oil. Warm the blend between your palms to match body temperature before applying it, because heat temporarily increases pore permeability and improves absorption by as much as 40%, according to published dermal absorption research, and apply it to freshly cleansed skin at night, ideally after 10 p.m. when your skin's own repair activity is at its peak. Add a few drops of a vitamin C serum underneath before the oil blend, because GLA can activate fibroblasts, but those fibroblasts still require vitamin C as a cofactor to actually complete the collagen synthesis process, meaning without it, you are activating a factory with no raw materials. Now let's move to number 4, which is pomegranate seed oil, and this one has a reputation in research settings that is quietly remarkable. Pomegranate seed oil is the only known plant-based source of punicic acid, an omega-5 conjugated fatty acid with a molecular structure that closely resembles compounds already found in human skin. Punicic acid has been studied for its ability to directly stimulate keratinocyte proliferation, which is the process by which new skin cells are generated to replace old ones. After age 65, skin cell turnover slows by approximately 50% relative to what it was in your 30s, which is why older skin often appears dull, feels rough, and takes longer to heal from minor damage. A clinical study published in a peer-reviewed phytotherapy journal followed women between the ages of 65 and 78 who applied a pomegranate-based oil blend to their faces daily for 16 weeks. At the end of the study, 79% of participants showed measurable improvements in surface texture. Wrinkle depth was reduced by an average of 35%, and skin radiance scores improved significantly based on spectrophotometer readings. Pomegranate seed oil also contains ellagic acid, a polyphenol antioxidant that inhibits the activity of matrix metalloproteinases, the enzymes that break down existing collagen in your skin. In women over 70, MMP activity can increase to the point where collagen is degrading faster than your body is able to replace it, and that imbalance is one reason skin aging seems to accelerate later in life rather than slow down. When castor oil is paired with pomegranate seed oil in a 1-to-1 ratio applied to slightly damp skin, the ricinoleic acid in the castor oil helps those punicic and ellagic acid compounds reach deeper tissue layers, where both collagen stimulation and MMP suppression are needed most. Use upward circular massage motions when applying, working against gravity, especially along the jawline and cheeks, where sagging often becomes most visible. For enhanced results, support this topical routine with a daily intake of vitamin D3, because research from a major university dermatology department found that adequate vitamin D levels improve the skin's responsiveness to cell-regenerating compounds by over 30%, essentially amplifying what the oils are already doing. Moving to number 3 now, and this is the combination that most people find surprising the first time they hear it: Helichrysum essential oil blended with castor oil. Helichrysum italicum is a flowering plant native to the Mediterranean, and its essential oil contains a compound called neryl acetate, along with diketones called italidiones, which have a rare and well-documented ability to support cellular regeneration and interrupt the inflammatory cascade that silently accelerates collagen breakdown in aging skin. Chronic low-grade skin inflammation is one of the most underappreciated drivers of visible aging. It activates the same MMP enzymes that degrade collagen, and in women over 65, this process can be running continuously in the background without producing obvious redness or irritation. You may not feel it, but your collagen loss statistics show it. A study from a European Phytochemistry Research Institute found that topical italidiones reduced MMP1 activity, which is the primary collagen-degrading enzyme, by 48% within a single application period. And with consistent use over 8 weeks, subjects showed a 27% improvement in skin density measurements using ultrasound imaging. Because essential oils are concentrated and should never be applied undiluted to mature skin, castor oil serves a dual purpose in this blend. It dilutes the helichrysum to a safe concentration while simultaneously acting as a carrier that transports those active compounds deeper into the dermal layer, where the inflammatory activity and collagen breakdown are actually occurring. Add 6 to 8 drops of pure Helichrysum essential oil to 1 teaspoon of castor oil and apply it specifically to areas showing redness, capillary visibility, deeper lines, and along the jawline where sagging tends to be most pronounced. To maximize the anti-inflammatory effect from both inside and outside simultaneously, increase your intake of omega-3 rich foods such as wild salmon, walnuts, chia seeds, and sardines, because dietary omega-3s reduce the same systemic inflammatory signals that Helichrysum is targeting topically, and that two-front approach consistently produces stronger results than either strategy alone. Now we are at number 2, and I want to ask you to pay close attention because this oil is one of the most nutrient-dense plant oils in the world, and yet the majority of women over 65 have never heard of it. Number 2 is Baobab oil combined with castor oil. Baobab oil comes from the seeds of the Baobab tree, called the tree of life across much of Africa, and it contains an extraordinary nutritional profile that makes it almost uniquely suited to aging skin. It has a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio of oleic, linoleic, and alpha-linolenic fatty acids, which mirrors the composition of a healthy young skin barrier more closely than almost any other plant oil. It is also rich in sterols, particularly beta-cytosterol and stigmasterol, which have been shown to stimulate collagen synthesis and reduce collagen degradation simultaneously. Perhaps most relevant for women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s is Baobab oil's exceptionally high content of tocopherols, a form of vitamin E that directly protects existing collagen fibers from oxidative damage caused by UV exposure, pollution, and metabolic byproducts. After age 60, the skin's endogenous antioxidant capacity drops sharply, meaning collagen that took decades to accumulate becomes increasingly vulnerable to rapid degradation. A clinical study from a dermatology research center in Nairobi followed 72 women between ages 64 and 81 who used a Baobab-based oil blend over 20 weeks. Results showed a 47% improvement in skin elasticity, a 41% reduction in transepidermal water loss, meaning the skin was holding moisture far more efficiently, and visible wrinkle improvement was recorded in 87% of participants by the study's conclusion. To use it correctly, mix 1 part Baobab oil with 2 parts castor oil to allow the ricinoleic acid to help deliver Baobab's nutrients past the surface barrier into the deeper skin layers. Apply using gentle pressing movements rather than rubbing strokes, because mature skin has increasingly delicate surface capillaries, and pressing motions stimulate fibroblast activity without creating the friction that can stress those fragile vessels. Use it at night after a warm shower when your skin's absorption capacity is naturally higher. For compounding results, add a daily hydrolyzed collagen supplement, providing at least 10 grams, because published research in a nutrition journal found that combining oral collagen peptides with topical skin barrier treatments produces results that are 62% stronger than either approach alone. The collagen peptides supply the specific amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, that fibroblasts need as raw materials to build new collagen after being activated by topical treatments. And now we have reached number 1, the combination that I have recommended more consistently than any other for women over 70, and the one connected to clinical results showing wrinkle depth reductions of 44% or more in peer-reviewed trial settings. Number 1 is a 3-oil blend: castor oil, amaranth seed oil, and bakuchiol oil used together. Each oil carries a distinct responsibility in this system, and together they create a coordinated biological effect that no single ingredient could replicate alone. Amaranth seed oil, pressed from the seeds of the amaranth grain plant, is one of the richest plant sources of squalene, a lipid molecule that the human body naturally produces and uses to maintain skin suppleness and protect against oxidative damage. Young skin produces squalene in generous amounts, but by age 65, that production has dropped by roughly 50%, contributing directly to dryness, loss of elasticity, and the thin, papery quality that many older women notice developing in their skin. Squalene has a molecular structure that is uniquely compatible with human skin lipids, meaning it absorbs almost instantly without feeling greasy, and it integrates into the skin's own lipid barrier to reinforce its moisture-sealing function from within. Research from a university dermatology department found amaranth squalene to be more bioavailable when delivered in a carrier oil blend than when used alone, which is one of several reasons this combination matters. Bakuchiol is extracted from the seeds of the Sorrelia coralifolia plant and has been described by researchers as the most significant natural skincare discovery of the past 2 decades. It activates the same retinoid receptors in your skin cells that prescription retinol targets, meaning it signals fibroblasts to increase collagen production and accelerates skin cell turnover at the same time. The difference that matters enormously for women with mature skin is that bakuchiol achieves these results without triggering the inflammatory pathway that makes retinol irritating. A 12-week head-to-head clinical trial published in the British Journal of Dermatology compared bakuchiol directly to retinol in women with an average age of 66 and found equivalent improvements in wrinkle depth and skin firmness between the two groups, but the bakuchiol group reported dramatically lower rates of stinging, peeling, and sun sensitivity. For women in their 70s and 80s whose skin is thinner and more reactive, this difference often determines whether a treatment can actually be maintained long-term or has to be abandoned due to intolerance. When bakuchiol and amaranth seed oil are combined with castor oil in a single blend, the castor oil enables deeper penetration for both active ingredients. The amaranth squalene reinforces the skin's structural lipid barrier and protects against oxidative damage to new collagen. And the bakuchiol directly activates fibroblast receptors to set the collagen building process in motion. To make it, combine 1 teaspoon of castor oil with 1 teaspoon of amaranth seed oil and half a teaspoon of bakuchiol oil. Warm it gently between your hands before applying it to your face and neck every night, using upward sweeping motions, and expect the timeline to look roughly like this. Within 3 weeks, most women notice that skin feels firmer and more hydrated to the touch. At around 8 weeks, people in their lives begin commenting on their skin without being prompted, and by 16 weeks, improvements in collagen density and wrinkle depth become measurable even with clinical equipment. 2 practices amplify this blend considerably. The first is a 5-minute facial gua sha routine immediately after applying the oils, because gua sha has been shown to increase dermal microcirculation by approximately 30%, which means more of those active compounds reach the skin cells that need them. The The second is protecting 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night, because growth hormone, which is the primary hormonal driver of whole body collagen production, is released almost entirely during deep sleep stages. And shortchanging that window means shortchanging collagen repair regardless of how good your topical routine is. Apply your 3-oil blend, spend 5 minutes on upward gua sha strokes, go to sleep, and let your body's natural regeneration process complete the work. If you've stayed with this until the end, there are 3 steps worth taking now. First, find the research citations listed in the description and share them with your healthcare provider if you'd like a professional second opinion before beginning any new topical routine. Second, leave a comment below with your age and which combination you are most interested in trying, because your experience and questions help shape future content for this community. Third, if you are not yet subscribed, consider joining for weekly videos focused on helping women navigate aging with genuine confidence, evidence-based tools, and real information rather than marketing language, because there are thousands of women in this community who are demonstrating every week that later life is still absolutely full of possibility.